Your AI agents just got a superpower. They can now control your desktop the same way you do, and believe me, it's going to fundamentally change how we think about automation. We're talking about AI as an autonomous worker, not just a fancy chatbot. Welcome to No BS AI Briefing. I'm Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. First up, OpenAI just shipped GPT 5.4 Mini and Nano. In plain English, this means you're getting GPT 5.4 level reasoning, but with much lower latency and significantly reduced cost. For builders, the interesting part is you can now deploy complex reasoning agents at scale without absolutely demolishing your budget. Think enterprise grade AI becoming economically viable for high throughput applications. Next, Anthropic enabled computer use capabilities for Claude. In plain English, Claude can now control your keyboard, mouse, and browser applications to complete multi step desktop tasks. For builders, this is huge because it opens up entirely new use cases in automation across any application, not just the ones with APIs. It really validates that shift we've been talking about from AI as a tool to AI as an autonomous worker. Wild, right? Then Google released Gemma 4 on iPhone, fully on device. In plain English, you can now run a frontier AI model on your iPhone offline with no API calls, no cloud dependency, and it even does multimodal image analysis and real time audio transcription. For builders, this means privacy first, offline AI applications are absolutely viable for mobile, cutting down latency and cost significantly. It's a reference architecture for integrating serious LLMs into native mobile apps. And finally, OpenAI closed a $122 billion funding round. In plain English, this is the largest private venture round in history, and Amazon has been named as an exclusive cloud partner. For builders, this signals massive confidence in OpenAI's long-term infrastructure and model roadmap, and it could mean tighter integration between OpenAI's models and AWS services, which will definitely influence API access and pricing for us developers over the next couple of years. So let's talk about that Claude computer use story, because that's the one that's really shaking things up right now. What happened is Anthropic has equipped Claude with computer use functionality. Essentially, it means Claude isn't just generating text or calling predefined APIs anymore. It can actually see your desktop, understand what's on the screen, and then control your mouse and keyboard to interact with any software just like a human would. Think of it as a super smart digital employee that can use any program on your computer. Now, why does this matter so much right now? Well, for the past year and a half, agent development has been all about tool calling, giving AI access to APIs, databases, structured data. But here's the thing, most enterprise workflows, the real nitty gritty stuff, still live in legacy software like SAP, Salesforce, or even custom desktop apps that simply don't have modern APIs. Cloud Computer Use completely removes that constraint. It bridges the gap between narrow AI and practical widespread automation. It's not just automating parts of a workflow, it's automating the whole thing across different applications. That's the part that got me. So, who should really care about this? I'd say founders, especially those looking at automation as a service, product managers building new workflow tools, and any leader in a big company dealing with significant back office operations. For startups, it's a massive new market opportunity, RPA 2.0, where you don't need to build complex integrations for every single system. For big companies, it offers immediate ROI in areas like data entry, document processing, and customer support, where you've got tons of repetitive tasks. As a builder, how should you think about this? Look, this is an application layer breakthrough. It means you can start envisioning and building a whole new class of autonomous worker products that sit right on top of existing software without needing deep API integrations. It also creates demand for better observability, security, and governance tools, because when an AI is autonomously clicking around, you absolutely need to know what it's doing. But let's be real, it's not a silver bullet. There are risks. Hallucination risk is a big one. What if the AI misinterprets a UI element and takes an unintended action? You'll need robust error handling and human oversight. Security is another huge concern. Giving AI access to your keyboard and mouse creates a significant attack surface. We're going to need serious sandboxing and audit trails. And complex workflows with ambiguous decision making, they'll still require human judgment. So, while early demos are incredibly impressive, we're still waiting to see production reliability and cost at scale. It's definitely not hype free, but it's real enough to pay attention to. Keep an eye on adoption rates, any security incidents, and how competitive responses from OpenAI or Google play out. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Experiment with Claude computer use for automating your team's repetitive workflows. This feature is new enough that early adopters are going to have a serious competitive advantage. Here's how to try it in under 30 minutes. Pick one truly repetitive task your team does daily. Maybe it's copying data from one tool to another, filling out a form, or generating a specific report. Then use Anthropic's Claude API with the computer use feature enabled. You can record a screen session of that task and then ask Claude to replicate it. Measure the time saved and the error rate compared to doing it manually. Document that workflow. You'll quickly see where the value is and it'll give you a roadmap for scaling. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.